What's going on, everyone? So today we are going to talk about two of my favorite things, which are numismatics and gold. And when you put those together, you get Pre33 gold. Let's get into it.
But there's a couple things I want to go over before we get into the video, and that is, in no way am I trying to get you to like and subscribe to my channel. But on the other hand, if you have an unhealthy addiction to gold, silver, and numismatics like I do, you're in the right place. And as viewers, you don't get the recognition that you deserve. So I want to say thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my content. It helps me out tremendously. With all that being said, let's roll it.
Hello, everyone. So here we have US gold. We have pre 1933 gold, and we have some present day US gold eagle. But what makes these two different besides their years and a mint mark and a little bit of a design? And why is one always referred to with a specific date? So in this video, I wanted to go over specifically what pre 1933 gold is. It's most commonly known as pre 33 gold, and some tips that has helped me save hundreds of dollars when it comes to buying this stuff right here. So make sure you stay for that. It'll be after I update you guys and let you know what exactly pre-1933 gold is. So it is any legal tendered gold coin that is minted between 1795 and 1933. And this comes in many different denominations. All the way back in the day, you used to have $1 gold, $250 dollar gold, which is comparable to like a 1/10 roughly, and then you have you had $3 gold, and then you have $5 gold, which is roughly compared to today's 1/4 ounce. You had $10, roughly half an ounce, and $20, which is roughly an ounce. And I say roughly because pre 33 gold contained slightly less gold content than its present day counterpart. For example, a $20 back then, which was a double eagle. This is a present day gold eagle. So we'll use this as the example for it. But back then, a 1 ounce gold coin weighed 33.43 grams. And today's 1 ounce weighs 33.931. So that's roughly a 0.5 gram difference. The pre 33 1 ounce has a purity of 0.967 gold, and today's present 1 ounce, our American Gold Eagles, they still contain 1 troy ounce of gold, but they're mixed with copper and silver. So that's what gives these their different colored tints, opposed if you had 24 karat gold buffalo. It would look much cleaner. None of that answers our question about why it's called pre 33 gold, though. And so the Great Depression was crushing the US. And in 1932, Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected president. And, a little history class here. Just sit back and relax. It's going to get exciting, I promise. So, Roosevelt wanted to devalue the US dollar to fight deflation, not inflation, deflation. But he feared in doing that, it would just cause people to hoard their gold instead of spending it. So President Roosevelt issued Executive Order 6102, which is referred to as the Gold Confiscation Act, requiring all persons to deliver their gold coins, gold bullion, and gold certificates to a Federal Reserve bank. And guys, believe it or not, this was punishable by $10,000 or 10 years in prison or both if you didn't comply as of the final deadline of May 1st, 1933. So the point of this was to demonetize gold coins. So it was no longer used as a currency, but there was some loopholes around this that you didn't have to turn it in. And I'll get to zoom in on this Pre33 right here because it is truly beautiful. Got a nice MS62 there. You can see how it says $5 on the bottom. So like I said, there was loopholes around this. And jewelry and collectibles were exempt from this. That's why you'll see so many like Pre33 gold coins that have been turned into necklaces or other things of jewelry, or you'll see, gold coins out there that are Pre33 that are really worn around the edges and they're like super shiny. So that means that someone probably turned it into a necklace so they didn't have to turn it in, and then removed it after 1974 when the ban on private ownership of gold was lifted. So that's a pretty common thing that you'll see with some Pre33. And then there's also, go back to the front here, on some under like the grade for PCGS or NGC, it will also say like X jewelry piece. So just keep an eye out for those. But that was a way that people got away with keeping their gold. Now, when it says collectibles, I'm assuming it's, gold collectibles probably went back to 1795. I don't know if it was like original gold pieces. These are collectibles now. The numismatic value alone makes them collectibles. So probably something that was minted, 1795 makes those ones collectibles. So I mentioned that I did several things to save money when buying this. So this is for buying and if and when you sell. And you may never do it. You might pass it down. But this is what I do to save money. And please don't make purchases based on what I say. We all know that when I talk about selling or buying gold, I have to mention that I'm not a financial advisor. So one is I avoid key dates. You can spend ungodly money, and huge amounts of it, on even the smallest Pre33 gold coins. And two, this is the key one right here. I only buy graded Pre33. So another thing that you guys need to know is that even though the Pre33 has less gold, it's going to cost you more than your present day gold. And that's because of its numismatic value, adds it tax on a price to it. So like I said, I only buy graded Pre33 gold for 3 reasons. When I'm spending this much money on gold, I want to make sure it isn't fake. So there's a lot of money in numismatics. And we all know that there's a lot of money in gold. And when those two are combined, there's gonna be fakes out there. So I would rather spend the extra little bit of money to get something that's been graded or send something in to get graded by PCGS, NGC. Those are the top 2 ones, to make sure that what I have is real. Number 2, you'll always see gold in those little cardboard flips. I'll show a picture of it. It's like a lot of coin shows. You usually see them with like Morgan dollars and stuff with a grade on there. It might say XF45 or AU. There's no way they know what it would grade and if it would grade up or down. So these dealers might have their they'll take their coin, they'll examine it, they'll be like, oh yeah, so that's an AU. There's a couple scratches on there. They'll go to their gray sheets, they'll look at it, they'll be like, oh yeah, an AU is worth this much. You have to be careful because it could cost you hundreds of dollars or save you hundreds of dollars depending on what the real grade is. You know, I'm pretty good at grading coins. I can tell the difference between like cleaned and damaged, but it gets very, very particular. And sadly enough, there are people out there that want to take advantage of you. So I always buy graded Pre33 gold coins or even just older numismatic coins in general. So I know exactly what my grade is so that I don't have to bargain or, argue with someone about what I think this is worth. And 3, when or if you go to sell, it's extremely easy. So I can call up an LCS. I can say, hey, I have some Pre33 gold. Are you buying? They're like, yep, I'm buying. They're like, what do you got? I'm like, I have a $5 1901S PCGS MS62. Might go away for a couple seconds. They'll come back and tell me, yeah, we're paying this. But the problem is, now I've done this before. I had raw Pre33 gold coins and I called around to sell them and they're like, well, what's the date? I'll tell them the date. They're like, we need to see the condition. We need to see if it's damaged, if it's cleaned, scratches, dents. So it takes a lot of time out of your day having to go in, show them the condition of the gold coin, have them test it to know it's real, when all they have to do is see that it's in a PCGS slab. And I'll show you guys the specific stats on this one too. I think PCGS has this at $975. I believe $975. And PCGS is just a rough estimate, but if LCS is like, I'll give you $400 for it, I'm like, no, it's worth twice that. I might take $800, but I'm certainly not taking $400. So it gives you that extra security to know what you're buying right there. So just another little quick look at it right there. And like I said, it's also just a peace of mind thing for me personally. So they come in all shapes and sizes. You can get them all graded like that. You can look up on the PCGS app, see what they're worth, see what they're selling for roughly on eBay, whatever route you want to take. But it's hard to do that with a raw one. There's ones that are in better conditions, ones that are in worse conditions, and in my experience, it's a real pain to sell. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for today. Like always, I hope you got something from this video, and I'll see you in the next.